Hey guys, Luke here. I'm here to preview the 2015 NRL season. This is round 2. Let's get into Friday night football. We've got 2 games. It's going to be the Bulldogs taking on the Eels, and we've got the Sharks taking on the Broncos. We'll start off with the Bulldogs and the Eels. Now, just a disclaimer, I do actually go for the Bulldogs, so it's going to be a lot of bias here, and obviously I'm going to be tipping the Bulldogs. And I'll try and explain why I'm going to be tipping the Bulldogs rather than say, they're just going to win. But we'll go into the team lineup to start off with. So we'll start off with the Bulldogs at the home team. We got Brett Morris, Curtis Rona, Josh Morris, Tim Lafai, Sam Perrott, Moses Mbaya, Trent Hodkinson, Aidan Tolman, Michael Leacher, James Graham, Josh Jackson, Tony Williams, Greg Eastwood, and the bench is Sam Casiano, David Clemmer, Frank Pritchard, and Tim Brown. The Eels lineup is Will Hopoate, Semi Red Radra, Bo Champion, Brad Takarangi, Reece Robinson, Corey Norman, Chris Sandow, Darcy Lussick, Nathan Peets, Tim Mena, Manu Mahu, Tapai Mararoa, Anthony Watmough, and the bench is Isaac De Goys, Joseph Paulo, Junior Paulo, David Gower, Denny Wicks, and Paulie Paulie. Now, I should just make note that Junior Paulo, he was the one who did that really shitty tackle on Matt Ballin. He got suspended for ages. I'm pretty certain that he won't be playing in this game. I think it's a given. They just named him for whatever reason. Probably to try and confuse Bulldogs, and if Denny Wicks is going to be playing, or Paulie Paulie. My bet would probably be on Paulie Paulie, because he just seems to be more of the mould of Junior Paulo. In terms of the actual game, like I said earlier, I'm going to predict a Bulldogs win. I'm going to say 13 plus, hopefully. And here is why. I just think, although Bulldogs didn't win last week and Eels did win, I feel the Bulldogs have a lot to work on. I think Eels obviously do have stuff to work on, but I think they are pretty good. I don't think they get much better than that. The Bulldogs were very, very poor for, I'm going to say, about 65 minutes, and then all of a sudden just burst into life, particularly Brett Morris just destroying. It was so good. They really had a potential to even the score right at the end, although it didn't happen. They got themselves back into a position to do that after being down by so much, which is absolutely incredible. They definitely had the opportunity to get level. It just didn't happen for whatever reason. Some poor play by Hodkinson, I would say. I know Josh Reynolds didn't have the best game last week. I suppose a lot of the players didn't have their best game last week. Josh Jackson, another one. Hodkinson didn't really do anything apart from right at the end. For the most part, didn't really control things too well. Even James Graham wasn't really up to scratch as what he normally is. But you know what? Credit to Panthers, they came out firing. And I just think the conditions really didn't suit the Bulldogs. Just being so hot. As well as having some new people come in like Brett Morris into the back in key positions in fullback and hooker. It's going to take a little time to gel, I would say. I think Josh Reynolds being out this week, I'm not sure if it's a blessing or if it's going to be a negative. It's hard to tell because Reynolds had a really bad game last week. He had an injury, but so I don't know when that happened or if he was playing with it, when it happened, I don't know. Even if it's really an injury, who knows. But Moses Mbaya comes in. From the games we saw last year, he seems to be a lot better at directing the side around, actually playing like a half, whereas Josh Reynolds is good at running the ball and that sort of stuff and just playing off the cuff. But the thing with Reynolds is when things doesn't go well, he really does not go well, and I think that hurts Hodkinson as well, hurts the whole side. Moses Mbaya probably a lot calmer, player conditions is like a 4.5, I think, which I think should come in handy in this game. I see Eels have got a pretty solid side, but I'm gonna say the backline it's strong, but it's weak at the same time. I suppose you could say the same about the Bulldogs, but although you got some great players like Red Raja and Hopoate in there, you got some people who are quite inconsistent, like Bo Champion. I don't really rate him at all. Takarangi is good sometimes, and other times I don't really rate him. Last week he was really good, but don't get me wrong. Reece Robinson's another one who generally isn't really too great in defence and that sort of stuff, although he's great in attack. But a lot of inconsistent players in the Eel side. And Norman, Sandow, there's a whole bunch of inconsistent players, and if they're on the roll, they're very damaging. And we saw last week they just got too much of a roll against Manly. Manly didn't have enough to match on the bench and that sort of stuff, and yeah, they just steamrolled them. But I'm going to say the Bulldogs, I think, have just got too much on the bench that they're not going to drop off like Manly, I don't think. As long as they're not too far behind like they were in the Panthers game, I think Bulldogs should come out the victors in this one. When I say not too far behind, I mean like going in like 10 minutes left and we're down by 20 points. If we're still in the game by 60 minutes in, I'm pretty sure Bulldogs are going to win. I think we're great at grinding out wins, and I just think Brett Morris, this is his second game at fullback. I think he'll be even better, and I think Moses Umbai, I've seen, if there's anything that I've seen, is that he's good at directing Tony Williams around. That could be scary for the Eels. So yeah, Bulldogs 13 plus. Moving on to the Sharks and the Broncos. Now this is a little bit of a weird one. I thought the Sharks would be a lot better than what they were this year. It's exactly what I expected from the Broncos, to be totally honest with you, but I thought the Sharks would be a little bit better. I thought they'd at least be able to beat the Raiders, although I did predict Raiders to be a lot better than people would think. But yeah, a Sharks loss was not what I was expecting. In terms of picking a winner, this is such a tough one, but I suppose we'll go into the team lineups before I get fully into it. So we'll go with the Sharks first. They're the home side. We've got Gordon, Fecky, Beale, Latelli, Brown, Barba, Robson, Fifita, Andrew Fifita that is. We've got Ennis, Pryor, Pakuya, Graham, Gallen, and the benches Huntington, Arona, Tupou, David Fifita, Holmes, and Saluma. Broncos lineup is Kahu, Copley, Reid, Hodges, Moranta, Milford, Hunt, Maguire, McCullough, Blair, Glenn, Gillett, Parker, and the bench is Wallace, Offenagi or something. I'm not sure the exact name, but he's the dude who has high rap. Like a lot of people have talked him up from like the under 20s and that. He's a prop, I believe. We've got Sam Thaiday on the bench. He's been dropped, and Cody Nikorima rounds out the side. No 18th man, no nothing. Broncos, very, very disappointing last week, but at the same time, I thought that was to be expected. I'm really not a fan of Anthony Milford and Ben Hunt as a halves combo. Individually, great. I think Milford probably should be at the fullback position. Are they like long term? They're obviously planning on him being the 5'8" because they got Darius Boyd there. But I think for now, if you're not going to have Darius Boyd, you may as well throw Milford at fullback. Plus, I think he'd be better off not being in the front line, in the defensive line all the time, because he's just going to get exposed there. He's going to get tired, and I think his best thing in attack is coming around for the sweeping plays rather than him actually starting off those ones. He should be the one who's throwing the final pass or whatever, which tends to be the fullback in a lot of cases. And Kahu, I just don't think he cuts it. He looked very shaky on the high ball. He did have little glimpses of great positioning and some decent takes, but the only thing is, I don't know what's the alternative. You move Milford, and then you got a predicament where you got a weak 5'8" position as well. So I'm not sure what's the best position. What's the best way to move? They might just have to keep Kahu at fullback, or at least I don't know. I really don't know. Broncos are in a shitty position. But yeah, it's exactly what I thought was going to happen with Darius Boyd or without Darius Boyd. To turn honest with you. Sharks side, they just looked like crap against Raiders. Raiders totally looked better side. I think Whiten was great. I know that, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about there. It was a pretty even game, but at the same time, I don't think Raiders are a great side. So when you're on par with the Raiders, it's probably not the best thing. Ben Barba looked like total crap last week. The only things he did was like the few assists that he just threw the last pass. They weren't generally like that exceptional or anything. They were just, they were what they were. But at the same time, that's nothing that he hasn't done from fullback. So I really don't know what's to go with the halves combination and the fullback position. I think Gordon, he's too good to be playing wing or whatever. But at the same time, if you got Barber, he's got to play fullback. He's so wasted at 5'8", and you can't kick. He can't kick. He's just a runner. He's sort of the same as Milford in that in a sense, he's not a great defender. Doesn't seem to be the greatest actual half. I know if Milford played halves in his juniors, but Ben Barba also played halves in his juniors as well for the Bulldogs. So I thought, just note that. Doesn't mean that that's their best position. It's another thing of they haven't really got anyone else though, because what's his name? New Brown or whatever his name is. He ended up getting hurt, which I think he probably would have been a good choice for 5'8". Valentine Holmes, 18th man. Don't know if he's going to play, but he's another one in that fullback position. He's probably going to be next in line ahead of Barber at fullback, which might seem strange if you said that a few years ago, but it is what it is. In terms of the actual game, I think I'm going to say a win for the Broncos. It's a little bit of a tough one. I may change my mind in a few days because I'm recording this on Tuesday, but it just, I don't know, something tells me the Broncos forwards are just going to be too good. I think they're a little bit too mobile, although I do rate the Sharks Sharks do have a great forward pack. I'm going to see Broncos, they actually got whipped. They got destroyed last week in front of their home fans, and they're just going to be coming out firing. I don't know if it's going to be a scrappy game. It probably will be. A lot of the games seemed to be like that last week. But I think in the end, Broncos will just have a little bit too much class in, really the forward pack and the back line. I think the back line is just going to have a field day. Justin Hodges, particular, Dale Copley maybe. I mean, all I'm saying, like, a lot of stuff I'm saying here could be said about both sides, really. I mean, Sharks forward pack could come out and destroy. Their back line could come out and just smash Broncos. It really wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't put it past either side to go and play total shit. That's where I'm going to leave the video. I hope it's been quite a long one. A lot longer than what I would have expected. But, yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. And you can subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke on YT. Check out my Facebook page in the description below. And, yeah, leave in the comments your predictions. I'll see you for the next video, guys. Bye.